There were new developments today on the race for medicines and vaccines. And first, we'll tell you about the treatment front. As developing new drugs, of course, takes time, the best hope for near-term options, public health officials say, is to test existing medicines to see if they may work against the novel coronavirus. Thought to be among the most promising is a drug from Gilead Sciences called remdesivir. It's an experimental antiviral that's shown activity in preliminary studies in SARS and MERS, and more recently in COVID-19 as well, and was used in the first patient in the U.S. with the disease. But reports this weekend that 2 clinical trials started this month in China are enrolling patients more slowly than hoped. And that may be because the criteria to join the studies are strict. Patients have to be confirmed with a laboratory test within the last 12 days to have the virus and must not have taken any other experimental treatment within the last month. Meanwhile, there's also news on the vaccine front as well. Pharmaceuticals giant Sanofi today confirmed it's jumped into the race with the support of the U.S. government. The company says it'll build on previous work in SARS, but notes it'll likely be a year to 18 months before it can start human testing. The company joins Johnson & Johnson, which has put a 12-month time frame on getting to human trials, and biotech company Moderna, which, with the NIH, may start human testing in as little as 2.5 months, all in the quest for a vaccine to prevent COVID-19. And let's bring in Dr. Gottlieb again. Maybe you can help put into context for us this news about the potential delay in enrolling patients in China for the Gilead drug trial. Does that mean it's going to be longer until we get an answer? Will we actually ever get an answer from these Chinese trials?
No, I don't think it's going to be too much longer. We're anticipating that those 2 trials are going to finish sometime in early April. And they've picked up enrollment this week, from what I'm told. There's 2 trials underway, one with about 300 subjects that's testing people with more mild disease, and one that's going to enroll about 450 that have more severe disease. And the trial that was a little bit slow to enroll last week was the one with patients with more mild disease, but that's picked up enrollment this week. But it underscores the difficulty of doing clinical trials in a hot zone. And the biggest difficulty, from what I'm being told, is just getting physicians engaged in enrolling patients into these trials because they're overwhelmed. The system there is overwhelmed, so it's hard to do a trial on top of that.
We've heard reports of planned clinical trials of HIV drugs in Japan. I mean, could Japan be a better place to potentially run a clinical trial of this Gilead drug?
Well, any place where you have an outbreak, and I think we need to think also here in the United States about how to get infrastructure in place and protocols in place if we start to have cases here, so we can start enrolling patients into proper clinical trials to turn over some data cards on these drugs that look more promising. To your point at the top, I think we're going to be closer to getting an antiviral that may be effective against this virus than getting a vaccine. A vaccine is a year or 2 away. If one of these antiviral drugs that's already in development or already on the shelf shows activity, that's going to be something that we can get to patients much more quickly.